What is up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel known as Azure. As always, I'm your most endearing of host, Daniel. And today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Game came out back in November 2019, so about a year old. Now, why am I getting into a game that's already a year old right now? One, it's Star Wars. That's basically one of my favorite franchises. Two, I barely finished the game right now. So yeah, by the time this recording started, it's only been about 3 hours or so since I finished the game. And three, well, it's my channel. I can really just talk about whatever I want, and no one can really stop me. So yeah, let's talk about Jedi Fallen Order. If you guys don't know, Fallen Order takes place around 5 years after the events of Order 66, and follows the adventures of Cal Kestis, Jedi Padawan who turned into a scrapper, junker, whatever type of person that salvages from just stuff from starships and everything like that. And it follows him as he gets recruited to join a mission by another person called Seer and her pilot Grease to search for a holocron that contains a list of the names of force sensitive children throughout the galaxy. Now, going into this game, like before it even came out, I was kind of fearful. One major reason: EA. Like, I saw what they did to Battlefront 2. I saw what they did to Battlefront 1. Battlefront 1 was decent. It was okay. That's fine because they literally just started a whole new Battlefront thing. Battlefront 2. Now, Battlefront 2, that was a shit show in and of itself when it first came out. Complete shit show. I might have to make a separate video on that just in and of itself. So that, just literally two words that made it how it was: microtransactions. Literally, you hear those words, you immediately think EA. Literally, that's literally what they're known for in and of itself. So yeah, I was a little worried about this game, but I still got it because, well, it's still Star Wars and I wanted to play it. So yeah, I bought it, started it up, and I got about halfway through before I took a break for a good few months because something else happened and I started to play other games. But all in all, EA did a good job with this game. Right, there are issues with this game, I'll give you that, and I'm going to discuss them throughout the video. But overall, EA did a good job. They didn't do any microtransactions. They didn't force anything that shouldn't have been there. There's no anything that doesn't need to be there. It's literally just pure Star Wars, and that's all I could really ask for in this game. Now, back to my gripes. Now, the mechanics of this game are kind of hard to get out to begin with because they're going for a whole, I want to say, kind of Dark Souls approach where you just like take your time and attack and everything like that. And I can see that, like Jedi, like being a Jedi means you don't actively go out for confrontations, and if you do, you usually take the safe approach and not go head first into a battle. So you have to think about what you want to do. And this game pulls it off though. But compared to other action games like this genre, it doesn't really hold a candle to it because, well, that kind of stuff is more action-packed, fast-paced stuff. Whereas here you kind of have to think about your next move. I managed to do a bit of both. I went head first into fights, and I did think about what was I going to do in the next fight. It got me in tough situations, but I got myself out of tough situations also. Another thing in this game, there is so much clipping, literally so much clipping. If you guys don't know what clipping is, it means like when something happens in the game where like you go through an object where you're not supposed to, or your hand goes through something, or something, there's a malfunction in the interaction. So you always like say like I'm sliding across the wall and suddenly my hand goes into the wall. Like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of that. There's a whole bunch of that in the game. It's not a deal breaker, but it does get in the way sometimes, more, especially in cutscenes. It doesn't happen that much in cutscenes, but when it does, it's just weird. Like, you have this AAA game made by this big ass company, and they can't fix the clipping issue. Like, what the fuck? Take a little bit more time and just fix those issues. It could have just been what I was playing on. I was playing on PC, and PC ports for stuff that's usually for consoles isn't really all the best. But hey, I have a PC, don't really have a console, so I had to do what I had to do. Either way, back to this. Probably the last main gripe I have with this game is the last section of the story. Like, I'm gonna paint a picture for you, okay? This whole game, we're trying to find a holocron. We find out where the holocron is at, but we need a key. So there you go. Ipso facto, we go find a key. We find the key. We fight a whole bunch of stormtroopers. We fight one fallen Jedi that turned to the dark side on Dathomir, city of the night, planet of the Night Sisters. My bad, not city. We fight two Inquisitors, the ninth sister and the second sister. All that just to get a holocron to save these children. And what does Cal Kestis do? What does Seer do? They destroy it. They fucking destroy the holocron. Why? Because some random bullshit about not forcing people into the Jedi Order. What the fuck? Honestly, what the fuck? This whole game, for me, 30 plus hours, for a lot of other people, other times, 20 plus, 60 plus, all that time spent looking around, talking to people, fighting a whole bunch of people to find this holocron, only for you to destroy it just at the end of the game. And you guys are happy about doing that. Why? And that's not even my main gripe about this main gripe. My main gripe is that this is canon, meaning that this ties into the movies and the TV show and everything else. I'm just thinking, why? Main thing, Cal Kestis destroys the holocron because he wants to quote unquote save the children from the Empire so that they don't get discovered once they start their Force training. I can admire that. You don't want to gather these kids up and have them run a risk, and the game makes it apparent as to what could happen if they end up getting captured by the Empire. Younglings die, younglings get tortured, Cal Kestis ends up being an Inquisitor. It dives into that. I get that. You don't want that to happen. But, and here's the big but, if you look at the sequel trilogy, Luke Skywalker starts his own academy with probably those same people that were on that list. And guess what happens to them? They die. They die because of Kylo Ren. They die because of the Knights of Ren. They die because he destroyed the temple and probably killed every single youngling and probably took half of them or more than that hostage too. So the fact that Cal Kestis didn't go find these younglings in order to save them, essentially sealed their fate into dying or anything or something worse. That is just why. Okay. There you go. That's my dislikes. That's my dislikes of the movie. Very much so on that part. Now, positives. The story in itself is good. The voice acting, the cast behind this is very good. Cal Kestis is played by the dude that plays Jeremiah and Jerome from Gotham. I forget his name. I'll probably include it somewhere if I end up finding it or not. But yeah, he plays him. Sirius's character is fine. She's good because she's a fallen Jedi who has lost her connection with the Force because she ended up using the dark side of the Force, and so she cut herself off from the Force. So she isn't tempted to use the dark side of the Force anymore. The second sister is an interesting character because she ends up turning out to be Cersei's Padawan, Trilla. And the reason she becomes an Inquisitor is because Cersei actually gave up her location because she couldn't handle the torture that she was going through. It's literally like, so Cersei has that hatred, like saying, oh, her master gave up on her. Her master turned her over to the Empire in order to be what she is now. And gee, that hurts. That really does hurt. The ninth sister, she's whatever. We don't really know her. We don't really get to know her. She's just there. She used to be a Padawan, but now she's an Inquisitor. But back to Trilla and Cersei. Like, just imagine that. Imagine this person you trust. You put all your trust into, who you hope is going to get you out of this terrible situation that is Order 66, ends up just giving you to the Empire, giving you to Palpatine, giving you to Vader, and essentially forcing you to go through all that torture. Just imagine what was going through her mind. It makes you feel for her. That you even see like a bit of her torture. That in a flashback you see what Trilla went through. And I gotta admit, when I was playing this game, it kind of hit me a bit. Then there's Cal. Now Cal is also a survivor of Order 66, and his master also promised to save him. But unlike Seer or Siri, I don't think it's Circe. But again, I can't freaking remember how they pronounce it because they kind of pronounce it in different ways and throughout the game. So Seer, I'm just calling her Seer. So unlike Seer, Cal's master actually escaped, but he dies on the escape and in the escape pod with Cal. So there's that. Again, but going back to Cal and his master, they went through Order 66 on on their Jedi cruiser. And honestly, playing through that game with seeing that happen, again, Order 66, it hits. Like no matter how many times, like I know it hit back in 2005 when Episode 3 came out, and it hit again in 2020 when the Siege of Mandalore saga happened in the Clone Wars TV show. But just seeing it happen again, just seeing that these people put their trust in these clone troopers only to have them just turn on them, it hits. Like I don't know why, but something was welling up inside of me. Like every time I see Order 66 happen, for some reason I just hope it doesn't. I know I'm not the only one out there too. Like I've talked to some people saying like, yeah, it's terrible, it's sad. Literally, I've seen people cry when it happens. Surprisingly, yeah, I understand. Like you put all your trust into these clone troopers, into these people who you want to save you, but they end up just turning against you. And the thing is, though, what hits worse is that they don't even show any remorse or empathy about it. They just think that they're doing their orders. They're just following orders, which is what hits even harder because that, in a sense, loses their humanity. And geez, this game actually captured some of that really well in this. And my God, I'm probably gonna do another episode on Episode 3 and Order 66 in and of itself, plus on the Clone Wars TV show. Not Tartakovsky's stuff, like Filoni stuff, Dave Filoni. I'll probably get to Genndy Tartakovsky later on if I ever watch the show. But if I do a Clone Wars episode, is going to be on Dave Filoni's TV show. Yeah. Oh man, this game has some moments. It has some good Easter eggs too, and callbacks to future events that happens. Like Saw Gerrera shows up. We see him. Even if you guys don't know, he was in Rogue One and in the Clone Wars TV show too. We see him. We see Chewbacca or Wookiees. One of them might be Chewbacca. I don't know what happens. He may or may not be in this game. Then we see a whole bunch of throwaway sights like some clone trooper helmets, some Clone Wars Star Destroyers, and everything like that. And then towards the end, we probably get the most epic sequence there is. We see Trilla, we see Sears, we see Cal Kestis all together, all in a chamber where the Inquisitors are essentially born in a sense because that's where they're tortured. And lo and behold, we see Sears trying to talk Trilla back to the light side, and we see it working actually. We see some of it actually getting through to Trilla. My bad, Trilla. She starts off a monologue saying, "I held so much hate for you," and you see in her eyes that she's about to say, "But," like how she's gonna say, "But I forgive you." But out of nowhere, we hear, "Dumb, dumb, dumb," and you hear the breathing. You hear his breathing, and you're just trapped in that room, no escape. And you see him, over 6 feet tall, stomping down with his metallic legs, with his voice saying, "You have failed me, Inquisitor." And right as Cersei's about to say, "Avenge us," Vader cuts her down in front of him. Someone on the brink of coming back from the dark to the light gets cut down in front of her master and possibly a new friend. And you're just thinking, what the fuck? Both in a good way and both in a bad way. Bad because it's Darth Vader and he's about to kill you. But good because it's Darth fucking Vader and he's a badass and you can't deny that. And oh my gosh, this whole final sequence. It's a cutscene and an actual playable sequence. Honestly, this is literally probably the best part of the game. because he is made to be a fucking behemoth, a beast, an OP motherfucker, which he is supposed to be. And that literally, I was a combination of scared shitless and excited, literally scared shitless and excited. And I was thinking like, what am I doing with my hands? My hands are on my controller. And I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It gives you the option to fight him, or maybe to run. I chose to fight because I'm like, fuck it, might as well try to fight. So as I'm running up to him, he lifts his hand and fucking just lifts me off the ground. He's literally playing with me in a sense. I'm a fucking ragdoll to him. And literally, just that sequence alone, I literally was about to quit the game because I did not want to have to fight Vader. Because I knew no matter what I was gonna die. I was literally gonna die. But out of sheer dumb luck, he lets go. I run. It's a whole running sequence, and we think we're safe because we trapped him in the back door, and we're heading towards the Mantis, which is our ship. And lo and behold, he pops up like Michael fucking Myers through the front door. Like how and what? And oh my god, yes, this is Vader in his prime. What you saw in Rogue One was just a tease compared to this. This is what Vader was supposed to be. I legit want a Vader game or a Vader movie or something like that. I know people say like, oh, Vader already has a story, but no. Anakin got a story. Vader got an introduction. That's all he got. He got an introduction in episode 3. He got an introduction in Rogue One. He got an introduction in this game. Vader did not get a story, and I want a Vader story so bad. Literally just a Vader story. That's all I asked for Disney. That's it. One Vader story, and one Vader story to be good. To be probably the magnum opus of the Star Wars franchise, that since you have gotten the rights to. Because honestly, you need to work on Star Wars, Disney. You need to really work on Star Wars. You had the potential in episode 7. You had it. Then you dropped the ball, episodes 8 and 9. Then you got it back slowly with The Mandalorian and with season 7, I believe, of the Clone Wars. Just that one Vader story, though. A good Vader story, and you'll be fine. You'll probably appease the majority of the fan base. And then you can retire it. Put it on a shelf, don't have to think about it anymore. And if anybody contradicts you, just bring up that story. That's it. So yeah, that happened in the game. And that was really the end of the game too. I was hoping for a bit more. But nope. After that, Cal and everyone gets back on the ship. And Cal destroys a holocron. So yeah, you have this badass scene, then you have this dumbass decision at the end. So yeah, that was Fallen Order. Yeah, I played the game. It's on my Twitch. I'll leave a link to it on my channel if it's still there by the time you guys are watching this or not. I don't know. Twitch is being a butt for some reason. But yeah, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, comment whatever you want, like whatever you want, do whatever the hell you want. I can't control you. I can't stop you. I can't make you do what you don't want to do or do what you do want to do. Again, share this video and all my other videos in case you guys know people who want to watch this stuff, even if you guys don't, because there's always someone out there who wants to hear someone talk rambles, and that's what I do best, talk rambles. Anyways, catch you guys in the next video, or catch you guys on Twitch or Discord or wherever the hell you want to catch me on. Anyways, see ya.